Hello, everyone, and welcome to my weekly outlook. Hope everyone's had a great trading week. I will be discussing my outlook on crude oil, gold, and silver, so stay tuned. Alright, let's first talk about crude oil. So, whoever's traded crude oil this week would probably feel it's been extremely frustrating, at least for swing traders. Um, Crude oil just hasn't really gone, it's still hanging on, still needs a trigger to break this entire consolidation. Um, we've seen some promise on Wednesday when we had injection in the weekly inventory levels, and even though there was bearish data, crude oil put in a power bar and just kept moving higher. I thought that would be it, and that was when crude oil would probably um, just break this entire consolidation, but that didn't really happen. So, talking about the week, we've just had a terribly choppy week. We've had a move lower, then a move higher, and crude oil's pretty much ended um, where it began the week. If I switch back to the weekly chart, you can see that we're just in this extremely tight consolidation range, and it's just getting tighter and tighter. What we saw is a higher high and a higher low, but I feel we shouldn't really make too much out of it. I feel um, I feel crude oil should go. That's what I've been saying since the past few weeks. It's just not ready yet, it seems. Um, Certainly, if you go back to the daily and we look at this, I believe this is a spot where if it breaks, it could go higher. But again, it's just been extremely choppy. One promising thing about crude oil, at least, is that for the past few days, it's been closing above the moving averages, which is a great sign. But again, we're in tight consolidation range, so it would be best to not make too much out of it. So again, crude oil. Any moment where I see crude oil break this week's highs would probably be an indication to me to take that long. Um, I've been trying to chase this trade in a way since the past 2 weeks, and it's been so frustrating to trade this because it's just not going. It's being putting in tighter days every time. It doesn't really move low. It doesn't really move high. All it does is just keeps chopping around. If I look at the hourly chart, this will give you a better example. Look at this. Moves lower, then it moves back higher, moves back lower, moves back higher, moves back lower, moves back higher. That's been pretty much the story of this entire week, you know. So again, crude oil just need that little trigger for it to move higher and break this entire consolidation. Once it goes there, 62 looks good, and we'll probably have to wait and be patient to really know when crude oil would probably break this entire consolidation. But on the technical front, nothing really new compared to the previous week. I have the exact same analysis, the exact same trade, just waiting for that trigger to happen. We still have that beautiful bull flag. All we need is a trigger so that it breaks and it moves higher. That's all I've been waiting for. So all in all, a pretty frustrating week to trade crude oil. Not really too much. At a spot, I'd gone really heavy, thinking this would probably be my trade of the month, but I had to substantially cut down on my position based on how it traded. So let's see if it breaks that level this week. I think it could. We'll have to be patient, but nevertheless, we'll have to keep an eye on this trade, and it still is a trade which you simply cannot miss. Trades like this don't really come too often. Maybe that's why it's making us wait so long. So that was it about crude. Let's move on now. All right, let's talk about gold now. So, gold had a pretty strong week. We saw it put a pivot in, and this entire week, all its time it's moved higher, which is a great sign. As I mentioned last week, this week would be critical for gold to show us the direction it would possibly move in. Let me just add the moving averages here and tell you what's exactly happening. So gold moved lower, um, just created another pivot. So this is a spot where people who are long can probably just trail their stops. I was short earlier actually based on the weekly chart. Let me switch to the weekly here. So I was short based on uh, this entire spinning doji, but I was able to get out when I saw it break the 1200 levels based on the 5-hour chart. So let me just show you where I got out exactly. So I was short once when it broke this level, and I got out once when it broke this tiny little spinning top 5-hour doji. So I had a red trade there, but no complaints actually. Um, Gold, it was critical for gold to show its direction this week. Um, so gold has shown us an indication that it is strong. It's telling us that it'll probably move higher. We've had really strong close to the week. What we are seeing this entire week is just a continuation and just an uptrend. Um, Also, there was a level which existed on the 5-hour chart, which it seemed to break. And one positive sign is that it closed above that entire consolidation, which is a great sign. So my outlook for this week would probably be just continuation of this move. We could see it even move towards 1250 if it has a strong week. We had the jobs numbers come in this week, and we had the slightly bearish um, data on the unemployment rate, which kind of propelled gold higher. What happened there was the odds of the Fed rate hike decreased marginally, which made gold move higher. So my outlook for this week would still be for gold to continue its move, and what I see this as is a move higher, then just to move lower, to put in a new pivot, and continuation higher. So this is where it could probably end up on the week if it has a strong week. If it actually ends up here, it would again mean a great sign for gold. And it looks like we could actually enter a long-term bull market in gold. Still too early to call that, but we'll know that pretty soon. But all in all, a strong week for gold, and not really any trade here. If you're long, I'd say just hold it and give it to this point. If you're short, maybe you should have already been out once it broke this point. So just continue holding your longs. I don't really see an entry which can have a great risk reward. You could have probably just gone long once it broke the 1220 levels and given it to the 1185 levels. But currently, the best thing to do is just hold. And I expect another bullish week for gold. So let's see what exactly happens. All right, let's talk about silver now. So silver broke the entire 17.35 area this week, and it put in a really good power bar. We saw mild continuation after that, but we saw immediate sell-off on Friday. Um, but I'm still pretty bullish on silver. If we switch to the weekly, I think it'll be a better picture. So what we saw here is silver putting in a bullish doji last week, and just plain and simple consolidation. One good thing about this is silver's closed above the entire consolidation area. It's closed near 17.5, which is really strong. What I expect this week is probably just continuation towards 18, where we might see some small hiccup. But my ultimate target for silver, at least for shorter term traders, would be 19, and if you trade slightly longer term, it would probably be around 21.25. Again, if you trade for a much longer term, just this entire $26 target looks pretty possible once it breaks this 21 level. So that's pretty far away. Let's talk about what could happen this week. So what I expect silver to do is just go towards the 18 level and then come back towards the 17.6 level where it puts in another pivot. So we saw one pivot here. My guess is we see another pivot here and we see another pivot here. So we could just see a good amount of continuation till it reaches 21. And I feel any sort of a bearish move would only happen once it breaks, or sorry, once it reaches the 21 level. That is this region. So I feel silver could end up coming here. You could just see a nice kind of a bull run here. My favorite chart in silver is the monthly chart. We saw it last month put in a bullish engulfing candle, and it's already broken the highs from the previous month. We could just see a good continuation here, and sorry about that. Maybe in a couple of months we could see the $21 area. So silver looks pretty good. It looks strong. All we have to do is just trail it to the right stops. We have to make sure that in case it moves higher, we're still in the trade. For now, my stop is currently at 16.6, near the 16.6 area. I will trail it to this once it breaks the highs out here, and that's pretty much how I'm going to trade silver. So again, I feel it'll come towards the 18.5 area, stop there, come back down, move higher again towards 19. I'm sorry about that, and again bounce and just keep putting in this nice bullish continuation until it reaches the 21.25 area. So this is my ultimate target for silver. Let's see what happens this week. I'm pretty bullish. In case silver moves lower, it'll be interesting to see what it actually does. I'll definitely have an eye on silver in case it breaks this 17.3 area. So let's see again what happens in silver. I'm pretty bullish about silver, and I definitely expect it to move towards the $18 region this week.